hopefully leave you walking away from here a little bit more knowledgeable on some of the things that are changing in open banking, open finance, and see how that can kind of practically impact your business. So I will kind of build upon a few of the themes that you've already heard about earlier this morning from Jeff and Stacy and Ali around ways where technology can hopefully help empower you as an advisor to focus on what you're distinctly good at and what your clients focus on the most, while being able to benefit from others who focus on the other pieces. So today's game plan, I'm going to walk you through these 4 things, and then we'll leave a few minutes at the end as well to chat if there's anything that you all have. So 4 things. First, I'm going to give you a little bit of background about Flinks as an organization and kind of why we're here to talk about what we're here to talk about. Second, I'm going to share our perspective on something that's probably been brought up just through industry and kind of looking at the news on open finance, open banking, consumer-directed finance, and hopefully give kind of a pragmatic and practical view on that. I will then look at 2 practical ways that I think you and your practices can actually adapt these technologies and kind of bring value to your clients. And finally, kind of show you how to actually make that happen. So first, a little bit about Flinks and what we do. We are a financial technology company based here between Toronto and Montreal, but operating across North America. And we're focused on guaranteeing financial data portability rights. So what that means is making it easier for consumers and businesses to be able to direct financial data about themselves to the platforms and advisors and businesses that they want to be able to deal with. To give a kind of practical example that hopefully can resonate with most of your lives is if you think about the mortgage process of wanting to be able to solicit the best offers and be able to get a good deal for you and your family going forward. There's a crazy amount of paperwork and hurdles you need to get through just to share information about your own finances, your cash flow, your income, your statements, where your money came from. And what Flinks focuses on is making it simpler to actually get that data sharing in progress and actually make that data really simple. So we work with clients across the board in the financial industry. Most of the big robo-advisors here, big payment platforms, a couple banks, fintechs, and make this process really, really simple in order to be able to link up your financial accounts, if it's brokerage, wealth accounts, bank accounts, and make that data really simple for our customers to be able to understand and take action on. I did want to share a little bit of our perspective on kind of what's going on in the open banking and open finance state. It is something that if you've been following the news and following kind of industry, this is something that's been promised many times to be able to transform. So there's 3 really practical things that I wanted to bring up that kind of are personal and kind of shared opinions with the firm. The first is, I'm not here to tell you that this is some existential threat to your business, but really just that it's a tremendous opportunity. In the same way that everybody's been saying for years that robos are coming, they're going to take the lunch of the advisors. We've all found that out to be not necessarily true. They've had tremendous success, and we've been fortunate to be able to power many of the big robos, Wealthsimple, Questrade, Nest Wealth, and really just wanted to talk about really what's the opportunity that you as advisors should be able to go for. The second is that we believe this is something that's already here today in a current format that you can start to use, but of course is evolving over time as technology catches up, banks catch up, and regulation starts to become more mature. So making sure that you can not be sitting on the sidelines waiting for something to happen, but really be able to get involved now is critical. And the third is that this is technology that is moving beyond just the early adopters, the cool fintech platforms, and it's really proving value with quite sophisticated mass markets. So that's, I'm going to give you 2 examples in a moment of really where I think this could impact a number of your practices. But our perspective is this is very much not a kind of early adopter only technology. It's really starting to prove itself out and kind of adopt into more mass markets. So two things that I'm really excited about and the team is really excited about of how this type of technology of financial data linking can impact the real lives of advisors and your clients really kind of fall into these two categories of better onboarding and better holistic planning. So the first one, onboarding, you've heard about this a number of different times. You've been probably hearing about this for years, that this is the area to really focus on. We have a very clear perspective that this is one of the most critical touch points in your experience with your customers, in having a better way to acquire and engage with those new customers that you're looking to bring on. Very practically, when we look at how our technology can help during an onboarding phase, there's kind of four big areas. The first one is just simplifying the KYC process. So understanding who your customer is, getting the check boxes that you need to do in order to identify them properly, especially in a non-face-to-face way. We work with a lot of firms to massively simplify and digitize that KYC process so that you can kind of get rid of some of these hurdles along the way and spend your time really understanding and bringing value to the customers instead of just pushing them over hoops. The second is really simplifying the asset transfer process. So as you're working with a customer to be able to move over from another advisor, another bank, maybe from a robo as their needs become a little bit more sophisticated, we simplify that asset transfer process by being able to identify all of the holdings, make sure that we can help bring them over faster for you, and give you that view to what assets are actually coming over to you. Third, around with the onboarding as well, we're really excited about how we can help with suitability assessments, making sure that we can pull in the data from their banks, their brokerages, and actually give you the tools to really simply understand that. Look at things like cash flow, look at things like their needs within their family lives to be able to make certain payments, and look at kind of how those are structured and changing over time so that you can understand them better right at the get-go. And then the last one, really simple. It seems very small, but it's a little detail that can go a really long way. And it's just simplifying the process of being able to connect the banks that they want to be able to link up with you in order to fund your accounts, in order to continually pull data out of that. So getting rid of all the void checks, getting rid of kind of the having to go to the bank and figure out pre-authorized debit information, and just simplifying all of that, turning it into a totally digital bank linking experience. Those are things that really excite us. And we've been working hard with a number of providers in the space here in order to make better onboarding a reality. So there's a great chance if you ever go open up an account with most of the direct brokerages here in Canada, you'll go through a Flinks experience that allows you to quickly link up your either outside brokerage accounts or your bank accounts so that they can quickly open that account for you. Michael mentioned earlier the kind of super quick, well, simple experience. Flinks is one of the things that's at the center of that. That just gives them a little bit of a data edge to be able to acquire thousands and thousands of clients a day. The second area that we're really excited about, and you heard a bit about this morning from Stacy at Conquest, is the role that Flinks and this type of data can play in better financial plans and real, true, holistic financial planning. So being able to wrangle in all of the data that exists outside of your purview and really understand both the managed and unmanaged assets of your clients is critical. And doing that in a way that's really easy for your customer. So rather than get them to figure out statements from all their direct brokerages and their business accounts and their personal accounts and everything else, we can give you the tools that you need to pull that data in right away, in many cases in the tools that you're already using for financial planning, such as Conquest, and come up with a great initial plan for that client and wow them in those first few moments as you're building out that relationship with them. The other thing that we're also really excited about is how you can keep that updated over time. So as the reality changes of their lives, as they make different trades in accounts that aren't necessarily managed by you, as their cash flow positions change, as new income comes in, you can really understand that and use that for proactive financial planning and just better high quality conversations with your customer. So again, going back to what you heard early on today about from Jeff and Stacy and Ali around making sure you can spend more high quality time with your customers we see a huge value. And then as well, making sure that you can do this across a wide variety of financial institutions. We operate covering almost every single Canadian bank and credit union, brokerages, mutual fund houses, SMAs, and thousands across the US as well. So we're really excited about how we can give you these tools to have better holistic planning, and tremendously fortunate to be able to do this through some of the partners that you heard earlier today, and a couple more that you'll hear over the coming weeks. So that's those are the two big things I wanted to leave with you, is really kind of we see an exciting opportunity coming forward with this type of data. We see two really practical ways that you can apply this to your practice through better onboarding and through better holistic planning. So if this is something that you think could benefit your practice, I wanted to give you kind of a few paths forward. The first is our team is always happy to speak to you and engage about how we've been working with your firm or how we can get you and your team set up individually. So I'll give you a contact in a moment for the gentleman who leads our wealth practice. He's also a great contact who's been working with most of these technical partners as well. So if you're already using a planning platform or software, we're happy to make sure that we can give you the tools that you need within that existing experience. The second, you heard again earlier from Stacy at Conquest about how this is now a tool that's really brought in and totally integrated into the Conquest experience. Those technology partners, of course, would also be very happy to talk to you about how to make this work. And if you're not quite ready, or honestly, this isn't for you, or it feels like something that's not for your customers, I'd love to just offer an opportunity to give some education. We're happy to share some content and ebooks around where this is going for generally the financial space in Canada, or specifically the advisor space. So I can check with Michael, but I know we've got actually a pretty interesting piece of content on these two items afterwards that we'd love to share with you after the fact, even if you're not quite ready to discuss what this means for your practice. So with that, yeah, I'd love to introduce you to this handsome fellow here, Henry. He leads our wealth practice and has engaged with quite a few advisory firms and platforms, and he's really the best contact to talk about how to make this a reality for your business, or really understand if this is something your firm is ready for. Yeah, with that, I'd love to actually kind of give you all a few minutes back to either just chat if you have any questions about the space, regulatory changes, how this could actually impact, or else I'll, yeah, thank you so much for all of your generosity of time, and yeah, appreciate you all joining us today.